You guys don't know, man. I had an entire... Wait a minute. Hold on. It might not even be fixed. Okay, it is fixed. Dude, I had an entire reaction video, green screen and all, this exact same setup, from when I first woke up where I did a breakdown, but more importantly, I reacted to this man's announcement, super attacks, all of his animations. I was so hype. And unfortunately, the entire video is getting scrapped because the freaking audio was not working. Okay, so like that sounded probably weird for you, but that's because I was purposely turning on it. Hopefully. But the point is, I recorded an entire video like this. So it's unfortunate. I'm annoyed with that because you guys know I love Gohan, bro. So I was so juiced. We did a breakdown. I'm not going to do another breakdown, but for today, I'm going to talk about teams for Gohan. So I hope you guys enjoy it because this one is going to be fun, bro. Let me know in the comments down below what team you're going to be using Gohan on, if you are going to be pulling. I don't know exactly when he's coming out. I don't know if he's coming out tonight. Tonight will be the normal schedule, but I think he's coming out on the 29th. So stay tuned for that. But what you need to know about Gohan is, god damn, he's broken. You know the funny thing? I have never said that there's no bias towards characters, but I did fight back on the perceived notion that every single Gohan that releases is broken, because that's not actually the case. There are some stragglers that are just kind of okay, like Blue Ultimate Gohan, Green Gohan that came out last Cell campaign. I like him a lot, but he didn't get the love I thought he deserved. But each premium Gohan, dude, you know what it is? It's that he's such a not polarizing, popular character and central character to the story. So like Gohan gets the big finisher, so obviously Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's gonna be cracked. Beast Gohan obviously is gonna be cracked, you know? Every UI Goku is cracked on release, you know? Like, so they're gonna make it a point. It just sucks on the heels of a release like freaking Super Vegeta, who's like a fan favorite character people were looking forward to. I tried to zoom in on it, it didn't work. But, I mean, admittedly, that scene doesn't... It's cool, it's a good-looking scene, but it's not the most impactful moment in the series, right? Vegeta makes other decisions in that portion of the story that are much more impactful and integral to the story. Anyway, for good and bad reasons. So anyway, yeah, this guy... God damn. So, in the video, I was watching this, and I was like... By the way, them playing Umine no Ssj2. I've never been able to pronounce this, so I'm so sorry if I butchered it so bad. But that song from the Japanese track, oh my god, it fits that moment so well, and it being in Legends is gonna be insane. I wish I could play this game with the music on. I can't because of the copyright. He looks so amazing, but I was watching this, and I was like, wait a minute, this dude has multiple counters? He's got an anti-blast armor. They said, bro, as soon as I saw this part where it said featuring various special gimmicks, I was like, okay, he's gonna be broken. And before I even clicked off the video to read his details, I was like, this dude's the best character in the game, right? He's gotta be. He's gotta be. Because he's got stuff nobody else does. So, once again, they are now debuting another mechanic that is exclusive to a character for a time. This won't always be the case, obviously. But that is the the blast armor counter. So, like, characters over the years have had anti-armor. It was always sporadic, by the way, but I thought that people have always talked about this mechanic, but I thought it became increasingly necessary as we pivoted to the game where every goddamn character releasing, look at this, where every goddamn character releasing had blast armor. You know the broken thing about that is that that's a goddamn blue card. It's not like that's a strike card, that's a blue card. He cancels bro's blue or whatever, green, whatever. It's a special card. He cancels that with a freaking blast. That is crazy. That is something that is... You've got to assume that... Now, nobody's willy-nilly throwing a blue like that unless the character, for whatever reason, doesn't have vanish, maybe. But, like, nobody's doing that. But the point is, you gotta be careful. You gotta be really careful. And boy, oh boy, stop clocks are shut down with this one. Because if he did a blast on your stop clock and you thought you were gonna throw... Does he do this on Ultimates too? Like, you know? So that's just one mechanic that he does. He's broken as hell. He's got a flat 170% attack increase, He's got neutrality, he's got endurance, he's got vanish restoration, he's got he doesn't have like the natural like arts power debuffs. I didn't see any of that, but he does pretty much every goddamn thing else. He seals the main, he seals the rush. I mean, this dude is like the epitome of broken as hell. He's also got this ramp. By the way, he has a lot of cards. He draws cards when he has less than 4. I think it's 3 or whatever the number is. And then he also has draw speed. Then as he's last man, he gets more draw speed. And when he uses these cards, he gets extra damage on each card. This is actually a nod to the Red Gohan. Red Gohan Super Saiyan 2 when he released, but he would only do it on blasts. And I think it was only 10%. This guy's going to get so many cards and he's going to get a constant damage increase. And again, he starts with a flat 170. So like, I've spent like 5 minutes talking about Gohan and what he does, but the point is, he's insane. So when we look at teams for him, sorry it took a little bit to get into this. A couple of things I want to kind of talk about. So he is a green character. I assume he's a defense type, by the way, which is not necessarily a bad thing at all, especially when a character is this damn. By the way, he's got 70% cut and then another 15% cut versus impact damage. And impact damage is like most of the damage in the game. So he's going to be, and he has endurance, right? So he's going to be crazy. He heals. He kind of does a little bit of everything, except for the arts power debuff. I'm just noticing that now. He doesn't really need it. Yeah, he doesn't do that. He doesn't really need it because he also has the freaking LF Namek Goku blue card counter, by the way. I only talked about the blast counter thing that he's doing, but he also has a stance to counter. It's freaking disgusting. So let's pull up Cell Saga and we'll talk about hybrids. By the way, off the jump, I want to start with this. Off the jump, I think the best team in the game is Sun Family. I think you can make an argument for a few other teams, obviously, like the GT team, Universe Survival. You can make an argument for a few teams. Flat Saiyan team would be pretty good too. But this guy with Goku and Bardock, indestructible with him, is going to be vicious. That is going to be vicious. And they both pop off like crazy, particularly late game. I mean, by the way, they'll both also have AoE greens. That's going to be a disgusting duo. Disgusting duo. There's some duplication with the coloring because you have 2 greens. So there's that. You probably will want to have a yellow on that team, but it's disgusting. Looking at the yellow options for this team, you don't have a ton of great that mesh perfectly well. The best option is UI Goku. He's not a character I'm going to be using with this Gohan for the most part. Excuse me. You maybe would be able to run UI Goku in the lead, then run a hybrid team around that, and put Gohan on the team because Gohan's ultra ability is for hybrids. You could maybe do something like that. But I wouldn't personally run that too much outside of that type of composition, so I'm not really going to do that. But those two, and then the third being Ultimate Gohan, Beast Gohan, oh my god, bro. You are going to get blasted by this. So off the jump, the first team I am hard lighting is that new Gohan, the Beast Gohan, and Goku Bardock. You've got endurance, you've got indestructible, you got damage out the wazoo. You're going to be insanely offensive. You've got good synergy with the strike/defense typing. Defense types typically are either versatile or skew more towards strike. Gohan doesn't really care, it seems like. He might have a 5-10k stat discrepancy in one way or the other. Typically, again, it goes to strike for defense characters, but who cares at that point, right? That's going to be insane. Next team I would kind of look at is one that I kind of talked about just for a moment there. If you want to have a good yellow on your team, so looking at this team, there are some options, but none of them are like great outside of UI Goku. You can grab one of these LF Zenkais right here if you really want to. I wouldn't really lean that way. I think the game's kind of passed them by for the most part. There are also other stragglers in here that are good. Like, obviously, the GT Goku is an insane character still. Beast Gohan seems timeless. The Blue Beast, obviously. Goku and Frieza are here. The Namek Goku, those characters are okay. But what I think you're going to do is you can run UI Goku in the leader slot, put Gohan on the team, and for the last character, since you've got a green and a yellow, you can either go blue or something like red, I guess. Again, those two, you can do, since the team would be hybrid based, you have a couple other options, right? You don't have to go full hybrid, but I would recommend it so you get the full ultra ability, as much of it as possible. Anyway, you'd be missing out on one slot, but as much as possible. But anyway, if you don't want to do that, it would be those two with this Goku. I think that could be super strong. You also have other options like Blue Beast. I think Blue Beast might be the de facto #1 choice there, but again, that's more mixed attacker team. So outside of that, if you're trying to go for a blue, unfortunately, in terms of blue range, there's not a lot here. The best one is, I mean, most cohesive one from that specific demographic would be this Gohan, and I wouldn't really recommend him. So outside of that, though, it depends what you're trying to do. But I think you grab a red for that setup. Just go red, green, yellow. And with that, you have some fun options because obviously you have Ultimate Gohan, yeah. But I think Pan is super interesting. I think Pan in this setup with those two is super duper interesting. Why? Because, by the way, I don't think he gets talked enough about, but I would also throw a bone to this Gohan. I think there was a time where he was comparable to Pan, but I think Pan has now edged him out as a better character. But that Gohan he's cool. So anyway, Pan is interesting because she can enable UI Goku early game, early mid game to pull off the snipes, right? So he's gonna pull off those snipes. He's got color synergy with the red, green, yellow setup. He's also Sun Family. He's got a strong Z ability. I think it's Hybrid Saiyans crit and excuse me. Hybrid Saiyans get HP, and then if they're movies, they get crit, right? So you want the HP primarily, so that's the most important thing. So, where's that at? Z ability. Okay, I'm not seeing it. Oh, yeah. Movies get a health. Okay, that's fair. Hybrid Saiyans or movies, health. Oh, there it is. Okay. Sun Family crit. I was going to say, I feel like there's Sun Family integration there. It doesn't really matter because she's on the team and then Goku's in the lead, so he gets all of it. But she enables Goku early game to pull off those snipes. She's got her own utility, you know, the way that she functions. She can go neutral. She reduces sub count. She's got the support. She's got the Dragon Ball, extra Dragon Ball in the blue card. She's got a lot of stuff, right? A lot of stuff. The key chopping that she does, which may or may not be useful versus certain matchups. But those three together, I think, is really, really strong. And then also late game, her and Gohan by himself, it's going to be pretty interesting. It's going to be really, really interesting. Now, if you were going to run either of those teams, I would fill out the bench with Zenkai buffs. I would give Gohan 3, if possible anyway. I'd have to look at the list of Zenkai characters, but up to 3 Zenkai buffs. And if there isn't one, give him as much as possible. Give the other one to UI Goku. That's what I would do. Assuming that the characters are also hybrids, because again, in that specific team, you want to have Gohan off of the lead, and then you want to have the hybrid. Now, I guess you could technically do a second variation of this, where you put Gohan in the lead, you put UI Goku on the team, and then have Universe Survival, I believe, around them. Yeah, Universe Rep characters around them. So let's look at Universe Rep. So Gohan lead, Universe Rep team, UI Goku as the secondary. Ooh, this could actually be gross too, bro. Actually, I think I may like this better. I don't know that it's naturally better, but as you move away from Goku and Bardock, I think the playing field is much more even as you move away from Goku and Bardock. I think Goku and Bardock are a swing factor. Because you look at the rest of this roster, it's insane. So let's look at this. So if we were to build a team here, you'd grab UI Goku, you'd grab the Gohan, and then you have the pick of the litter between numerous other really strong characters, between Jiren, Golden Frieza, the tag Evo in there. You have the Revive UI, you've got Android 17, you've got Jiren. Those are the most important two there. 17 and Jiren most likely are obviously going to be on that team. But the point is that you have really, really good options here. And this may be the more clean, better fit overall. But again, it's leaning more towards a ranged focus, which again, I want to emphasize that Gohan doesn't have anywhere in his kit that says, give me only strike card, right? He doesn't have that anywhere here. Or strike arts damage, you know, things like that. He doesn't specify. So if a character's not really specifying strike and blast arts, if they're doing these things where it's both, it most likely is a defense or support type, and he's fine either way. So I want to specify that. And if the stats are skewing a little bit in one direction, that's not really appreciated. So those are a few teams. We looked at hybrids, we looked at Sun Fam. Well, we didn't look at hybrids specifically. We looked at Sun Fam. Let's actually pull up hybrids from here. But before we do, be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I'd appreciate it big time. Let me know in the comments what team you're going to be using them on. So looking at hybrids, do we look at Cell Saga? I guess we could pull up Cell Saga too really quickly. I don't know how much Cell Saga matters though. Does 16 have a bonus? I don't know 16's kit off the top. Does he have a bonus for Gohan? Is there a Gohan passive in here? No, not this time, okay. Defeated. battle. Okay. Every time another is hit, okay. It doesn't look like he has much support utility or anything like that. He's a melee character? Yeah, melee type, so I don't really think 16 here has much, so I'm not going to really factor him, but he's really good, as far as I recall. Those two, him, Super Vegeta, and 16, like, those two are good. The problem with 16 is that I was looking at him because maybe you'd want to run, like, a green yellow, something like that, but I wouldn't really consider it because I don't really need it. Outside of that, the best Cell Saga team, just at a glimpse, is probably, I think you go the new Gohan, obviously, and then go strike around him. You're going to grab this guy, although I like Super Vegeta a lot. I think it's actually kind of a different. But I would go here because of the endurance. I'm going Trunks. And yeah, I would do. He picks up a number of. Yeah, and then the last character is dealer's choice. You go here, probably so, despite the... You would probably, at that point, I guess, make it more of a mixed attacker team. Try to fit more Cell Sagas, the abilities on the team. And then you also have this option, too. All right, let's talk about hybrids. So, hybrids is interesting. Hybrids has a really good backbone, and a really... But the thing is, like, they're really good backbone, but they're really top-heavy, too. For example, for hybrids, you have a decent chunk of characters that are usable. Not great, usable. Whether it's any of these top 3 characters, none of them are great, but they're all really usable. You have Beast Gohan. That green Gohan, unfortunately, color duplication, otherwise he would be useful, or usable, right? You have other Gohans in here, like Beast. You've got Super Saiyan 2 Trunks. I would actually not sleep on the Revival Gohan still. Shout out to Revival Gohan and Future Gohan, because I think they are definitely in play for Zenkais this year. I would imagine Future Gohan gets it first. Maybe as part of a future campaign, actually. So there's that. But you have some other stuff. Obviously, Pan is here too. So if I were building this team from scratch, I'm just going to grab Ultimate Gohan. He's the first character you grab. It's not even close. Obviously, you're grabbing Beast Gohan there. And then, since you have a red and a green, you would probably want a yellow to fit in that last slot. I personally would go Goten. Why? Double endurance. Gotenks' utility. I don't really need much more offense. I would go double endurance. That's what I would do. Now, to fill out the rest of the team, you also have other options like the Super Saiyan Trunks here, unless he has some sort of condition that I'm not remembering because he is a newer Zenkai. You also have Pan, things like that. But I would personally just go with those 3. I would just go those 3 and call it a Gotenks, Beast, and Gohan. Next up is the idea of red, green, which would, in a mirror, beat my setup because you're throwing in the yellow there. And that would be Pan or Super Saiyan Trunks, most likely Pan. I'm going Pan, Beast, and then the new green Gohan, and calling it a day. Red, green, that's going to be disgusting. That is going to be disgusting. And then from there, if you're doing red, green, you probably would want to fill in the Zenkai bench for the last 3 slots. You could make do for like one more swing character to put in, whether that's a yellow or a blue. I would consider having a blue on the team, in which case I would put either Beast or the Super Saiyan 2 Trunks in that last slot. I wouldn't be opposed to sliding more towards Super Saiyan Trunks there, though, by the way. I think Beast has better late game, like end game, late game stuff, as far as I recall correctly. Maybe I'm getting it inverted. But I would swing more towards Trunks because of the guarantee of the endurance. I think Beast is kind of squishy if he doesn't have the endurance, so you kind of can't let him take a hit too much. Particularly if you're going to run him alongside other characters that may or may not, have their own defensive utility. But, I mean, he's going to be with Gohan most of the time, so. Shout out to Gohans, because they're all Gohans everywhere. But I would probably lean more towards Trunks. That's just me personally, though. That's a dealer's choice preference thing, right? But red, green is going to be crazy, I think, personally. You could also be kind of cheeky and go red, green, like I said, with Trunks instead of Pan if you really want to. But I think Pan, ever since release, was a character that got underrated. In fact, there was a time when she was like, the second best character in the game for a while, so keep that with you. She's aged really great over a year later. Now, this guy is kind of an interesting one, too, because the Revive has so much value, but he himself is kind of paper thin, gets kind of shredded. But his offense is still very high value, too. Late game, after transforming and all that stuff, he does a crap ton of damage. So I would also consider him, too. We've now looked at, I think, every team that Gohan really has that matters. Outside of that, though, it would be putting him on a leader slot and just kind of porting him out to other teams. What teams would you consider? Let's look at GT. Maybe the GT team. I was thinking about androids. The GT team could be disgusting, slotting him on this team alongside 17 and the Blue Goku. That could work out pretty well, actually. And then also you could have other characters that obviously slide in that you use. The only problem that I would personally have is, you know, mixing attackers, but I don't really care all that much. You could have two sides, right? Just go right. So it really, it's not a huge. Let's look at Android, though, like I was saying, because I think Android, though, skews more towards ranged, unfortunately. Not it. Android skews more towards range, but again, Gohan defense. Again, for the 15,000. If you look at this team, you have more options too, though. You can grab some of the better characters between Perfect Form Cell, Android 17, the Gamma, Super 17. This is another good team to put him on, potentially, as your defensive backbone, and have him, you know, kind of on that team carry. So I wanted to kind of take a look at some equipment, and kind of just quickly talk about some of the best equipment. It's going to kind of vary, obviously, based on the team that you're going to be using this Gohan on. But these are okay. Well, let me just throw this out there. There may or may not be another equipment that drops relatively soon. I don't know. They'll drop another one sometime soon for this Gohan. I don't know. But this equip, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. This equip, bro. Double attack up to 8% per. The per is very important. Hybrid, full hybrid team. Do not at all. Don't. Obviously, we'll have these equips. These are good, but we'll have these equips for the defense type characters or whatever we need, right? So there's that. I'm getting a phone call. On a full Sun Family team, this one is also going to be really strong. You get 12% in the defense. So keep that in mind, too. Particularly those Sun Family variants that are going to have him and the Indestructible on the team. So you're going to be very tanky, have good longevity. We also have some other Sun Family / Gohan-based equips that could be useful. I wouldn't grab this one because I think this one has an ultimate passive on it. I think it's for Cell Saga, though. Nonetheless, those are the main ones I'm kind of looking at. What did this one do? Android Battle Member. Don't really care about that unless you're running Cell Saga as a team. This one's a good one, though. But also, this is one that you would want to put on for the Sun Family variation. This, actually, you want 3 of these. You want 3 of these for the Sun Family variant, and you probably want 3 of this one for Sun Family / hybrid regardless. Because even if you're only getting 2 of these instead of 3, that's still really good. Yeah, I think you want both of those equipped on this. I will reserve the last slot. I don't know, maybe it's one of these new equips. Health, defense, health restoration, double defense. This last passive. It was doing okay prior. What about this one? Health, strike defense. No, strike attack. No, this one. There are some other little stragglers that could be useful depending on what your goal is, whether you're trying to have like a defense-based character. Like this equip here, if you're running them on like GT or something like that, or a mixed attacker team, you can get good value out of this 3rd slot. So that's one thing to consider. There's other solid equips in here too. You just kind of have to go in as dealer's choice, choose what you want. Ooh, I think this is the one. Or at least, I would this is a good secondary one. Health and then strike attack up. Oh, no, the 3rd passive. Never mind. I thought the 3rd passive was well, that one kind of works. If you're using Pan or Beast. Yeah, this one works. You can use this. Never mind. Yeah, this is a good secondary one. If you don't have one of the other ones, the platinum ones I kind of pointed out, whether that's this one with Ultimate Gohan on it, or this Cell Saga based one, I think I pointed out, right? No, there's another one. This one right. If it's not one of those 2, you would want to grab that other. So that's kind of it, guys. We talked in depth about Gohan. He's amazing. I am probably going to upload my reaction. I'm just like terrified this isn't. Okay. I'm probably going to upload my reaction as like a separate meme YouTube short thing. So stay tuned for that. But let me know what you guys think about Gohan.